Today, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Texans ready to take over here on offense, and it's Deshaun Watson at the controls in his 5th season now in the NFL.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game, so he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Watson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And Deshaun Watson, when you think about the toughest quarterbacks in the league to game plan against, he's got to be in your top 5, does he not?
And when you talk about game planning, putting him in the top 5, that's an easy call because he can make every throw. That's not an issue at all. He has great touch delivering the football. But that mobility, that added dimension, when he escapes the pocket and those receivers find their way open, short, medium, and long, he finds the right guy. And last but not least, his toughness. He can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, here comes now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Well, we know it's a tough mission for this defense to hold them to a field goal after that long kick return, but they're one play away from doing it.
They certainly are very close to accomplishing what they needed to get done because they've treated this like a sudden change. You know, when the offense...
And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. His 6th rushing touchdown on the year, number 8 overall. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick 6 last time out. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. They'll run it here. This is James White. And this will be a Texans first down as he gets this up past the 30. The numbers for White a week ago, 16 carries, 51 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And Amendola has it. And he'll be taken.
That will continue to help him dig out of this hole.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win. I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Here's Amendola now. Jet sweep. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. That play, it looked like trouble from the very beginning, and it wound up being even bigger trouble than they anticipated.
Yeah, and instead of cutting his losses on the play, I think what happens here is receivers get so excited about this play call with a chance to run with it that they try and really make it work no matter what. He just needed to cover up on that one, but he didn't, and they lost possession.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Here's Peterson. He's got it on the draw. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try the air now with Smith. He hits his target, Lockett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Dropped at the 35, so able to display his strength, but not much room to operate. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Throwing now is Geno. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson looking deep now for Amendola. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
They start the drive with Peterson. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of '85. But then they never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. This is the tight end Fant. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach. Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kareem Hunt. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half. Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive goes 8 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. He's got Akins, the tight end. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Watson on first down. He's got his man. It's White. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Right there, 54, right there. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Watson now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Brevin Jordan, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. From the 36, Smith. He's got this one complete to John Ursua. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A 10th carry now for Peterson. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. The final shot here before break, Smith. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the football team at home at FedEx Field. And they trail the visiting Cowboys at halftime. Ezekiel Elliott, a touchdown run in that first half. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Julio Jones, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Returnable for Dorsett. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
On first down, Peterson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Open man is Ursua. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. Hunt. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Kareem Hunt. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, is you, this offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On a handoff, it's White. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain. And
now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes.
Now, loose football. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game, and when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
3rd down, it's Adrian Peterson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. Myers' kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
On the return, Tremont Smith. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here comes the Texans now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. From the 24, Watson. And the
Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
And not enough on the throw that time, as that one is incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. They run again with Peterson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's in. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the offense is going to get the ball back. After all that, heck, it'll be a 1st down. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Lock now on 1st down. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 79 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A carry here for Hunt. Oh, fighting off the defender. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Smith. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a first down throw.
In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off at the 25. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Pushing through the contact. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. That time a 6-play drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense taking over again. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Watson. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year.